I like to research existential questions and get down with answers for everyday life. I have realized that I should not bother with questions that doesn't give me answers to get further, just keeping me in place, helpless. Like, what's the purpose of life, or why are we created? Uh, to answer these questions, you have to think not only rationally but also spiritually, and their belief comes in this topic. Only personally you can answer these questions, and these are actually choices that you can make what to believe in. And there is no right and wrong, I think, in this world. For me, at least, there is no. Everyone has a right to believe in what he wants, but we have to realize that we are all in this planet, on this planet, in this world together. So the question "we are one" is not a question for me. We are all one. It's like an Earth would be an organism, a host, and we are all living together. It's one. It's not individuals. So, and many religions try to explain this in different manners, but I like to research these through art, to making art. And what I came up with, what I really loved, the idea of a process philosophy. They are saying being is becoming. There is no individual. Someone is just a process. You are born, you grow up, and then you die, and the next generation comes up. So it's a big process, like mountains. We don't see mountains shaping because through time you would have to make a really fast forward video. But actually they are always changing, they're always shaping. Our bones are growing, like layering on each other, layering. The plants are growing. So everything is a process. But we human, we like to, our mind is actually, it likes to take out something and name it and say this is a glass, right? So, and this is like rational thinking, and this is very good for surviving. And our mind is actually implanted in us as an algorithm for survival. Plus, the self-awareness opens the possibilities, the endless possibilities. So, just to keep it short, I want to talk about my new generative collection, which I never thought I'm gonna do. But on async art, there was this template, there were these blueprint templates and blueprint possibilities. And I said, I give it a try because it's interesting. It's more interesting than AI for me. AI I am not interested in because it would be just like looking at the clouds and see something and drag some meaning out of that. That's the kind of art I am doing. So I like to search for analogies where you don't see a concrete concept. So so these are also the basics of the abstract painting that I have learned at the academy from my master, and it's a long tradition of how it is looked. How does it work in your psyche? How do you interpret something? How do you find analogies? So it's a complex study that I made, and from this study I have developed my own interpretation and my own way to research this. So I have developed a method that I called process sculptures. I found out later that other people are also researching this, so it's like motion sculpture. This is mostly done with digital things. For example, I go into the mocap suit, I do a bunch of movements, and then I digitize them with a motion capture system in a computer. I put it on a character, on an avatar. It can be any shape of that, but usually I have shaped my own silhouette in a form of a little bit stylized being. And this being, this avatar, is doing different performances, and in the animation during this performance I recognize some patterns, and I leave an imprint of the body of the character on special frames, sometimes every frame, sometimes just selected frames. And these motions, these are frozen in time, and if I connect them through each other, it can have a different it becomes a different form. It's a little bit more mixed up. You don't really know how many legs, how many arms, where is the head. And this is the point what I really love to research, because then your mind tries to search some meaning in it, and it finds really strange things which are actually some kind of mirrors of your unconscious. It's like a Rorschach test. Maybe you know these ink blots when the psychologists are holding in front of you and you have to answer quickly what do you see in them. So these are like mirrors of your thoughts, of your feelings, and it can map your personality. The psychologist makes that. So these are actually also the whole abstract movement that I was learning was searching analogies that are mirror to our subconscious. And so when I do these motion sculptures, process sculptures that I call, because of the process philosophy, I put them together. Sometimes I make also the motion paths, you know, when the hand is moving, then a path is moving on a certain path. And this path, I put this kind of I don't know, like worm-like, snake-like forms that are like flowing in the air, and these are really nice aesthetic curves that I add to these motion sculptures, and all this it's like a ghosting in the movies, you know, when you go and then it's like a ghosting effect, but I select which parts I want to keep, and sometimes I print those out. At the moment 3D printing is pretty expensive, but I made some very nice tests, and in the future I'm planning to print my best sculptures out in a big resin sculptures or special things, and it really looks nice how to, from the reality of the movement, I go digitize them in the metaverse and then go out again into reality, in material reality, and print them out. So it's a really nice process. So actually I want to talk about Motus Anima. These 100 pieces of generative art are made from 7 motion sculptures that I made, and I have posed them in different positions, rendered them, and then just checked them out in Photoshop on the layers, which layer is fitting the other. So actually it's 7 sculptures in 3 different poses on 3 different layers. So it's around 300, something like that, possibilities. But I just kept my collection at 100 at async. And this is going to be, well, this is actually a really exciting thing, because these are my creations, my visions, but the collector can randomize, and it's gonna be random. So it's not only me creating the stuff, but also you. Also coming back to the theme that I chose. Actually, normally I don't really have a concept in the beginning of a process. When I start to work these things, for example, these motions were taken 3 years ago. They were just like body motions, expressions of feelings, like a performance, art performance. And from these performances, I took snapshots of movements and make them into sculptures. So this collection is really exciting, because there can be variations that I was not thinking of, and they can come out. I didn't check them all. and also it gives really nice analogies. I really like the analogies of what I see them, but it's really interesting, and I would really like to have the feedback of you. What do you guys see them into them? What kind of revelations you may have? Because all this is in order to free the mind. You know, we have, our mind is really struggling sometimes, and we don't realize we want to be happy, you know. And what I realized, it actually, our mind will every time get you 50% good thoughts and 50% bad thoughts. So it's like 50-50. And for me, happiness is to realize this stuff. So when you have bad thoughts and bad things are happening to you, you just have to think, okay, this is for something later it's going to be good. Okay, it's really simple for me like that. We can argue, we can discuss this kind of stuff in spaces, but I don't want to think too much over, because I decided to see the positive side. I'm not the positive, but let's say the side that keeps me going on, you know, and not the things that are taking me down in personal life. So to come back, movement is a very important part of this, right? I'm coming from a family. My father was a fencing champion. My mother was doing dancing, and I did martial arts. I did many types of martial arts, and movement was always very important in my life. Actually, I was probably hyperactive when I was small, physically, and I was always doing something. But at that time, we didn't call it that. I was just a really, how do you say, never-resting kid. But to come, and this movement is very important. The second part is my father took me to see Alien, the movie, in 79-80 when I was 7 years old, and we didn't have ratings at that time. No one really knew what that is, and my father was a big comics fan and movie fan, so that was a very famous science fiction. So we went into the cinema. We saw that, and actually I don't remember that I was afraid, because it's a sci-fi horror movie. I was not afraid because I was really mad and tremendously curious how the creature is actually looking like. Where is its hand, legs, claws, tail, everything. I wanted to understand, and Ridley Scott did a really good job not to show us the whole creature at the same time, you know. And as a child, you see much more analogies, not really direct. So I was really open, and this was my first abstract experience, you know. When you think you understand, you will understand every moment. No, I don't really know where is what, but I'm gonna understand it, and this moment never comes, you know. It's like a bubbling of forms of anatomical parts, and you never get there. And this excitement is you know, in this thin line. You don't understand, and you are not also not understanding anything, but there is this really tense thing. So this is what I'm searching in my art, and that's why I'm doing not really predicted stuff, but more like gestures. And in the gestures I will see some reasons, some forms, analogies that I discover, but I don't want to bring them out perfectly. I don't want to make it just one person and you understand how it is standing. You will understand, of course, when you see the persons. I don't want to go totally abstract. You will see the head, the arms, you see hands and this kind of stuff, but it's all times mixed up, and you feel the movement, the motion. So it's a process, and it came from this, that this is a process of creation, like how God created Adam. In the Bible they say he created him from dust, from clay, and he shaped him with clay. And as a painter, a sculptor, I really love clay, and this is like really fun material to work with. but I like to explore more other materials. So this, the human body as a material to shape something abstract is very very interesting, and that's what excites me. So actually I came up with the idea because I'm always interested in these existential questions, how God shaped Adam. So this motus anima, the spirit that moves us, this Latin saying, I connected with with how God shaped Adam. So actually, the other thing is process philosophy connected with creation of human kind is also, not the humankind, the whole world is also put together, and I'm saying that creation is ongoing. So it's not that God created Adam and we are descendant of that, but he is creating us all the time. We are changing, we are always changing, but we are always doing the same path. So actually the creation is like a circle, like a cycle, always going. Like you are born, you grow old and die. So it's a circle, it closes, you know. So I say, okay, let's say that it is still creating. So we are in the creation at the moment. So actually Motus Anima is the creation of Adam, which is forever ongoing, and we are all Adam. So that's why I named every mint. When you push the button to generate, it's going to generate from 3 layers, and it says creating number 1, creating number 2. So this is really exciting, and it was also a process how I came to the concept of it. It was not, I'm not that kind of artist who thinks before and plans everything, and at the end there is like a really beautiful line of thoughts how it came together. But it's like more, I do something, I have no idea what it's going to be. Of course I have some experience and I know what the shape will look like, but what will it mean, it comes later. So basically this is it. I don't want to keep it so long, but I could also add, which is very important, the Rorschach test, creation of Adam, the process philosophy. This is all mixed up into this collection, which I'm pretty proud of. And also this is a unusual use of layers and generative art, what I was seeing before, and it can also, I really hope it would inspire some of you. Thank you for listening to me. Please check out on async.com, and you will see the links below where you can see this collection, and you can click mint and let it surprise you, and meditate on your choice, and come up with your own mind ideas of your inner self, because it is what you see is, it's mirroring your unconscious thoughts and feelings. So thank you very much, and till next time.